to our daily news program coming to you from Canal, Algérie to the headlines. The High Representative of the European Union for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy, Joseph Borrell, highlights the central role of Algeria in the peaceful settlement of world crisis once received by the President of the Republic. And the strategic partnership between Algeria and the EU is to be promoted with further efforts meant to upgrade investment and trade relations. The Ugandan president keeps holding several activities as part of his visit to Algeria for the third running day. And the education employees joined the protest movement in Morocco to improve their socio-professional situation, so precarious to say the least. Good evening and welcome back. First our news. The President of the Republic received the High Representative of the European Union for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy and Vice President of the European Commission, Joseph Borrell, who indicated that Algeria is a strategic partner, highlighting its central role in settling the different crises. Borrell harked back on other topical issues of common interest that we will discover in this extensive report with Midisa Gubash.
Following the meeting held with the President of the Republic, the High Representative of the European Union for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy, and Vice President of the European Commission, thanked the President of the Republic and Prime Minister Ayman bin Abdurrahman for their warm welcome, indicating that during the meeting, the two parties discussed the solid relations binding the two sides.
D'être ici en Algérie, qui est un partenaire stratégique de l'Union européenne.
In his statement to newsmen, Joseph Borrell affirmed that Algeria is a strategic partner for the European Union and that his visit aims at seizing all the opportunities and potentialities, be they political, cultural and economic, to consolidate the strategic relations between Algeria and the European Union.
Et je suis ici pour discuter de la meilleure façon de faire avancer notre relation. À faire avancer davantage ensemble en exploitant au mieux tout notre potentiel, tous les potentiels de cette relation qui est à la fois culturelle, politique et économique. De plus en plus.
Joseph Borrell emphasized the geopolitical challenges alongside the instability in the region of the Sahel, the peace process and the situation in the Middle East, including the escalation of violence in Palestine, highlighting Algeria's central role at both regional and continental levels, calling for stepping up efforts so as to reach Pacific settlements to the different issues and crises, while recalling Algeria's major role in the Malian peace process.
Je pense aussi au rôle majeur que l'Algérie a joué pour la paix au Mali, à travers les accords d'Alger de 2015 qu'il faut encore mettre en œuvre.
The situation in Russia and Ukraine was also reviewed, according to the High Representative of the European Union, qualifying it as a challenge for the entire world. Therefore, the European Union supports Ukraine at the political, military, financial and humanitarian levels, calling on Algeria to join its efforts to put an end to this war and its economic and human impact on the world.
J'invite l'Algérie à se joindre aux efforts engagés pour arrêter cette guerre injustifiable et atténuer son impact économique et humain sur le monde entier. La lutte contre la corruption et contre le blanchiment
Mr. Borrell also evoked the fight against corruption and money laundering, assuring that it's a priority for the European Union that will deploy all efforts in cooperation with Algeria so as to recover the embezzled funds. He affirmed that Algeria is a strategic and reliable partner in the fight against terrorism in the Sahel, calling for initiating a high-level dialogue on security questions, and that the first will be held before the end of the year.
Les réunions vont se tenir avant de la fin de l'année. Ceci prouve que pour nous, l'Algérie est un partenaire de confiance est un acteur clé dans la lutte contre le terrorisme dans notre voisinage commun. Je vais souligner quelques domaines spécifiques. D'abord, l'énergie, c'est sans doute un domaine
The High Representative of the European Union declared that renewable energies were a fruitful sector to achieve a promising partnership, recalling that Algeria is a reliable partner, which is why we aim at developing the relations between the two sides by encouraging European investments in the field of renewable energies because of Algeria's great potential in this field.
L'Algérie est très prometteur, puisque l'Algérie a un énorme potentiel dans le domaine des énergies renouvelables.
As for the trade sector, Mr. Borrell said that more than half of the Algerian foreign trade is carried out with our member states, and that we can do better by finding solutions to the current limits.
Qui entravent les investissements européens en Algérie, qui ont un impact direct sur la mise en œuvre de notre accord d'association. Trouver une solution à tout cela est dans notre intérêt commun. J'ai aussi salué l'élection de l'Algérie au Conseil.
At the end, the senior representative of the European Union, Borrell, hailed Algeria's adherence to the Council of Human Rights. Being a member in this council is highly important, affirming that the European Union will be very delighted to cooperate with Algeria in this field.
Et nous serons heureux de travailler ensemble avec l'Algérie sur ce sujet qui sont pour nous très importants.
The third day of the visit paid by the Ugandan president to Algeria was marked by several activities and meetings summed up by our reporter Ines Glou.
The Ugandan president visited on Monday morning the Nuclear Research Center in Algiers, accompanied by the Minister of Energy and Mines, Mohamed Arqab, and the Atomic Energy Commissioner, Abdelhamid Mellah. Explanations of the equipment functioning at the analysis laboratory for the purpose of health, industry and scientific research were presented to Algiers guests, the only laboratory of its kind in Africa. The Ugandan president also visited the Radiobiology and Life Sciences Laboratory, which deals with materials used in radiation protection. And finally, the visiting president signed the Golden Register in the library of the center. Afterwards, at his residence in Algiers, the Ugandan president received the Minister of Energy and Mines, Mohamed Arqab, in the presence of the Ugandan Minister of Energy and general managers of Sonatrach and Sonelgaz. Yoweri Museveni also received the Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Mohamed Abdelhafid Henni, in the presence of the Ugandan Minister of Agriculture. In addition, Ugandan president received a delegation from the Algerian Economic Renewal Council, led by its president, Kamel Moula.
Other news, the President of the Council of the Nation, Salah Gouji, received the Zimbabwean Minister of Youth, Sports and Arts, Kirsi Coventry, an opportunity for the two sides to discuss the bilateral relations and the latest developments in the regional and continental levels. In a new development, the proceedings of the 58th meeting of the Council of Arab Ministers of Health kicked off on Monday. It was organized under the theme Strengthening Health Security for the Improvement of the Population's Health and the Preparation for Possible Pandemics. On the agenda of the meeting, the establishment of Arab institutions such as the Arab Agency for Health Development and the Arab Center for Cooperation and Research on Immunodeficiency. It is worth noting that these institutions aim to boost cooperation in the health sector, hence confirming Algeria's central role in the Arab world. Boosting cooperation in the Arab and African worlds is a necessity on which Algeria is focusing so as to reach a high level of development in all fields. Linking 5 countries, the Trans-Saharan Road, one of the key beneficial projects that will certainly revive the economic activity in the region. Story by Najah Dayar.
Linking Algiers to Lagos in Nigeria, a road of 4,500 kilometers is integrated into a road network of 141,000 kilometers in all categories combined. The Trans-Saharan Highway covers also Tunisia and 4 countries of the Sahel and the Southern Sahara: Niger, Mali, Chad and Nigeria. This road is entering its last phase. On the Algerian side, it is 90% completed and highly expected It is considered as one of the main trans-African corridors and the backbone of the continent's development. Through this project, we have proved that the 6 African countries could work together. Concerning the main axis linking Algiers to Lagos, there are only 120 kilometers left between Agadez and Arlit in Niger. This section will be over this year. Essential to the advent of the African Continental Free Trade Zone, this road will have to open up the isolated regions, strengthen regional integration and promote intra-African trade between numerous countries. The latter represent only 16% as against the exchange between Africa with Asia and Europe that are up to 60%. This project encompasses several mega projects and major structures, some of which are considered the largest in Africa. This project is also characterized by the installation across several countries that have more fiber optic cables for the digital development. The achievement of the Trans-Saharan Highway is monitored by the Liaison Committee, which will later become an economic committee which will ensure the economic management phase of the project.
In a different story, the Bank of Algeria unveiled the main figures of the year 2022, or the payment balance in the first 9 months, which showed a significant surplus of $11.8 billion thanks to the increase in exports of hydrocarbons and non-hydrocarbons goods. Najah Tayyar once again.
This increase reflects Algeria's macroeconomic situation during the first 9 months of the past year, which has improved significantly, underlines the central bank in its latest economic report. According to the same source, the trade balance during the first 9 months of 2022 recorded a surplus of $18.6 billion as against a deficit of $790 million in the same period of 2021. The Bank of Algeria explained these positive results by the increase of hydrocarbon and non-hydrocarbon goods export despite the slight hike in imports of goods. This is the real return to financial balance of Algeria since the oil shock in 2014. Algeria has diversified its exports in non-hydrocarbon products, in which we have recorded $4.5 billion during the first 9 months of the year 2022. Regarding hydrocarbon exports, it was recorded at the end of September 2022 a sharp increase of $18.48 billion compared to the end of September 2021, going from $24.10 billion to $42.58 billion as a result of a sharp rise in oil and gas prices. The Bank of Algeria, which recalled that hydrocarbon exports reached their highest level in 8 years at the end of September 2022. In addition to that, non-hydrocarbon products export reached $4.35 billion at the end of September 2022 as against $3.8 billion in the same period of the previous year. Still, according to the Bank of Algeria, the overall balance of the treasury has significantly improved by recording a surplus of 316.5 billion dinars. This surplus is mainly due to the increase in budgetary revenues, in particular those generated by the hydrocarbon sector.
To Morocco now, where the education employees joined the protest movement to denounce their socio-professional situation, hence complicating further the Makhzen position in easing the domestic tension always growing high. More details with our reporter in charge of international files, Ines Kilou.
Widespread popular discontent at all levels, especially the educational sector, as teachers took to the streets once again to denounce the Makhzen aggression, who continues to attack contractual teachers who are struggling to integrate them into public service and improve their socio-professional conditions. Since 2016, the Moroccan educational system hires tens of thousands of teachers on the basis of a fixed-term contract. This led to the launch of strikes and demonstrations, often marked with violence and repression by the Moroccan police. Hundreds of Moroccan contractual teachers are deprived of their salaries because of their participation in protest movements calling for a reform of their professional status. In a press release, the Junction Network for the Defense of the Moroccan Workers' Right warned that the option of non-permanent teachers is only a move likely to include other sectors. The network further affirms that all sectors of the public service are targeted by forms of precarious work conditions, hence the needs of unity in defense of the right to a stable job and a decent life.
And as usual, we wrap up our bulletin with cycling, and Tour d'Algérie with its 7th stage linking Constantine province to Skikda, in which the Algerian cyclist Hamza Yassine was the winner. It is worth recalling that it is his third victory in the tournament and the 5th for Algeria. Let's wish more of our representatives good luck. And with this well-deserved victory, we come to the end of our today's program. Thank you for tuning in, and goodbye.